Far beneath the surface of the ocean, the familiar world slowly disappears. Sunlight weakens with every meter, fading into a muted blue and then into nothing at all. At the surface, waves reflect the sky, but below, light becomes fragile and temporary. Within minutes of descent, colors lose their meaning. Red vanishes first, followed by yellow, until only shadows remain. Sound changes here, moving farther and slower through the water. The surface world feels distant, like a memory already fading. At 1,000 meters below sea level, darkness becomes permanent. There is no sunrise here, no sunset, no reference for time beyond internal rhythm. This region is known as the deep ocean, a place humans were never meant to inhabit. As the descent continues, pressure increases silently and steadily. Every 10 meters adds another atmosphere of force. The water itself becomes heavy, pressing inward from all directions. At 11,000 meters, the pressure exceeds 1,000 times that of sea level. Any unprotected object would collapse instantly. This is the Hadal zone, named after Hades, the ancient underworld. A place deeper than Mount Everest is tall, a place once believed to be completely lifeless. For centuries, humans assumed nothing could survive here. The darkness seemed absolute. The cold seemed unforgiving. The pressure seemed final. Yet assumptions have a way of dissolving when exploration begins. The temperature near the ocean floor remains just above freezing. Not cold enough to form ice, but cold enough to slow life to its minimum. Movement here is deliberate, never rushed. Energy is too precious to waste. There are no plants at this depth. No forests, no algae, no photosynthesis. Sunlight never arrives, and without it, traditional food chains cannot exist. Instead, nourishment arrives slowly from above. Tiny particles drift downward through the water column. Fragments of dead plankton. Microscopic remains of creatures long gone. This constant gentle fall is called marine snow. Each particle may take weeks to reach the bottom. Some take months. By the time it arrives, it has been stripped of most of its energy. Yet here, even the smallest fragment is valuable. Life at this depth depends on patience. Meals are rare and unpredictable. Creatures cannot afford hunger-driven panic. They wait. Despite these conditions, life persists, not loudly, not aggressively, but quietly and efficiently. Cells are adapted to withstand immense pressure without breaking. Bodies are soft rather than rigid. Flexibility becomes strength. Transparency becomes camouflage. In this world, survival is not about speed or power. It is about endurance. It is about balance. It is about existing without excess. As we continue our descent, the ocean floor draws closer, not as a place of death, but as a hidden ecosystem, a reminder that life does not require comfort, only adaptation. And at the very bottom of the ocean, far below reality as we know it, that adaptation reaches its quiet peak. At the bottom of the ocean, pressure is not an occasional force. It is constant. It presses from every direction at once. There is no escape from it. At 11,000 meters, the weight of the water above is almost unimaginable. It is equal to placing several large trucks on every square centimeter of the body. For most materials, this pressure would mean instant destruction. For life here, it is simply normal. Deep-sea organisms are not built to resist pressure. They are built to accept it. Their bodies contain very little empty space. There are no air-filled cavities to collapse. Everything is dense, flexible, and balanced with the surrounding water. Bones, where they exist, are thin and light. Muscles are soft and efficient. Movement is slow, not because of weakness, but because speed wastes energy. Darkness is equally absolute. There has never been light here, not once. For millions of years, this environment has remained unchanged. In this darkness, eyes are optional. Some creatures have reduced vision, capable only of sensing faint glows. Others have no eyes at all. Instead, they rely on touch, vibration, and chemical signals. Water carries information. A slight change in pressure can signal movement nearby. A faint vibration can mean food, danger, or nothing at all. The ocean floor is constantly listening. Many creatures here produce their own light. This light is not bright, it is soft and controlled. Bioluminescence appears as brief flashes or steady glows. Light is used carefully. It may attract prey. It may confuse predators. It may help individuals of the same species find one another. Nothing shines without purpose. Food is scarce and energy is limited. Because of this, deep-sea life has learned efficiency. Every movement is measured. Every action has a cost. Some animals can go months without eating. Their metabolisms are slow and patient. They wait for marine snow to arrive. They wait for opportunity rather than chase it. In certain areas, the ocean floor cracks open. From these cracks, mineral-rich fluids emerge. These are hydrothermal vents. They release chemicals from deep within the earth. Here, bacteria use chemistry instead of sunlight. This process is called chemosynthesis. It allows life to exist independently of the surface world. Entire ecosystems form around these vents. Tube worms, crustaceans, microorganisms, all supported by invisible chemical reactions. This form of life challenges everything we once believed. It shows that sunlight is not the only source of energy. It shows that life can thrive in complete darkness. Adaptation here is quiet, but extraordinary. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is excessive. Every trait serves survival. At the bottom of the ocean, life does not compete loudly. It cooperates with the environment. It blends into pressure, darkness, and time. And in doing so, it proves that even the most extreme places on Earth are not empty. They are simply misunderstood. Life at the deepest parts of the ocean does not follow familiar rules. Bodies here look unusual, even fragile, to surface eyes. Many creatures are pale or completely transparent. Color serves little purpose in a world without light. Skin is often thin and delicate. Bones, if present, are soft and lightly structured. Some species have abandoned hard skeletons entirely. This softness allows them to survive crushing pressure without breaking. Movement is slow and controlled. Fast motion would require too much energy. Predators do not chase, they wait. Some deep-sea creatures appear unusually large, others are incredibly small. This variation is known as deep-sea gigantism and miniaturization, with limited food evolution experiments endlessly. Large bodies can store energy for long periods. Small bodies require less nourishment. Both strategies work in a world where meals are unpredictable. Many organisms here live far longer than similar species near the surface. Slow metabolism extends life. Growth happens over decades, not years. Some deep-sea animals may live for centuries. Reproduction is rare and cautious. Finding a mate in complete darkness is difficult. Some species release eggs and sperm into the water, trusting chance. Others reproduce only when conditions are perfect. Time itself feels different at the ocean floor. Days and nights do not exist. Seasons do not reach this depth. Life follows internal rhythms instead of sunlight. Trenches act like isolated islands. Each trench is separated by vast underwater distances. Over time, species evolve independently. Many exist nowhere else on Earth. Because of this isolation, biodiversity is hidden rather than absent. New species are discovered almost every time humans visit. The deep ocean remains one of the least explored places on the planet. Sound travels farther than light here. Low-frequency vibrations move across great distances. Some animals sense these vibrations to locate food. Others use them to avoid danger. Despite isolation, life is not lonely. Chemical signals drift through the water. Tiny cues reveal presence without contact. Even decay is slow. A fallen whale can provide nourishment for decades. These events are called whale falls. They become temporary ecosystems in the darkness. Scavengers arrive first, then bacteria break down the remains. Life continues long after movement stops. Every organism plays a role. Nothing is wasted. Death becomes another form of nourishment. The deep ocean does not rush. It does not compete aggressively. It simply continues. Here, survival is not about dominance. It is about patience. It is about fitting perfectly into a silent, crushing world. And in this slow, unseen rhythm, life at the bottom of the ocean quietly endures. Humans have rarely visited the deepest parts of the ocean. The journey is expensive, dangerous, and technically difficult. Only a few specialized submersibles have ever reached these depths. Each visit lasts only a short time. The deep ocean remains largely untouched by direct human presence. Yet human influence has still found its way here. Even at 11,000 meters, traces of our world exist. Microplastics have been discovered in the deepest trenches. Tiny fragments drift downward, carried by currents. They settle silently on the ocean floor. Life here did not evolve to handle this intrusion. Chemical pollutants also make the journey downward. What enters the ocean at the surface does not disappear. It slowly spreads, reaching even the most remote environments. Despite this, deep-sea life continues its quiet existence. Adaptation has always been its strength, but the pace of human change is faster than natural evolution. Exploration of the deep ocean remains limited. Most of what we know comes from brief encounters. Robotic vehicles capture short glimpses. Samples are collected quickly. Each expedition reveals something new. New species, new behaviors, new questions. Scientists estimate that the majority of deep-sea species remain undiscovered. Entire ecosystems may exist without human knowledge. The deep ocean holds secrets older than humanity itself. There is growing interest in deep-sea mining. Minerals rich in rare metals lie scattered across the ocean floor. They formed over millions of years. Their removal would be sudden and permanent. Disturbance in this environment recovers extremely slowly. Tracks left by research equipment can remain visible for decades. Life here cannot simply return overnight. The deep ocean teaches us about limits. Limits of exploration, limits of understanding, limits of control. Despite technological advances, humans remain visitors, fragile and temporary, dependent on machines to survive even a few hours. Life at the bottom of the ocean does not need us. It existed long before human curiosity. It will likely continue long after. Yet our actions at the surface matter deeply. What we discard does not vanish. It sinks. The ocean floor records our presence silently, not with sound or movement, but with accumulation. Understanding the deep ocean changes perspective. It reminds us that Earth is layered, that consequences travel downward. Protection of these environments begins far above them with choices made on land. With care for systems we cannot see, the deep ocean is not distant. It is connected to every river, every shoreline, every decision. And in its stillness, it waits. At the bottom of the ocean, there are no landmarks, no mountains visible against the sky, no sense of direction beyond subtle slopes in the seabed. Everything blends into darkness and pressure. Time passes without signal. There are no days or nights. No seasons to mark change. Life moves according to internal rhythms alone. Here, existence is reduced to its simplest form. Survive, adapt, continue. Life does not demand comfort. It does not require sunlight or warmth. It does not seek abundance. Instead, it accepts scarcity. It adapts to stillness. It becomes efficient rather than powerful. The creatures of the deep ocean do not struggle loudly. They do not dominate their environment. They blend into it. Every adaptation is subtle. Every movement is careful. Every life is balanced against pressure and time. The deep ocean challenges how we define habitability. It reminds us that life is not fragile. It is flexible. Where we see emptiness, there is quiet complexity. Where we assume lifelessness, there is persistence. The deepest trenches are not wastelands. They are stable worlds shaped by patience. They are archives of evolutionary success. In these depths, survival is not heroic. It is ordinary. It is constant. Life continues without witnesses, without recognition, without reward. The deep ocean does not ask to be understood. It does not need validation. It simply exists. Yet in studying it, we learn something essential. Life does not follow our expectations. It follows possibility. At 11,000 meters below reality, evolution has found a way, not through strength or speed, but through quiet endurance. The ocean floor remains largely unexplored. Its stories are unfinished. Its lessons still waiting. And perhaps the greatest lesson is this: life will find a way to persist, even in darkness, even under crushing weight, even beyond human reach, far below the surface, where reality feels distant. Life continues, silent, patient, unbroken.